Okay. Actually, I don't have much heroes in my life. I have very little heroes in my life, and I think Dr. Wess is one of them. Because I read the book Too Small to Ignore, and I was totally passionate when I was reading that book. You know, I can't tell you how I was reading it. Bishop knows. I was talking almost to everybody I met everywhere. Even in my university, I was telling everybody I read a book which says Too Small to Ignore. You don't know what it means to me. You know, I was totally suspended. I was passionate, and you wrote a very great book. I want to thank you for that book. Actually, I've got a lot of questions to ask Dr. Wess. And you know, you are white, because we can see that you are white. But in my mind,
only my skin.
yeah. But I remember a person once. There was Senegal's national team coach. He was a man from France. He was a French man. He was white, and I remember him in a television program. He said, "I'm black in my inside." He said, and I think of you like that. I think you understand what the Africans feel, what the poor feel, what the oppressed feel, what the children feel, and I like that very much. And shall I ask you one question?
You can.
Okay, you were learning in Bandullo, right? Have you forgiven those people? This is my question.
That's a very good question.
I'm sorry to ask. I think, okay.
I forgave them when I was 17 years old.
When you accepted Jesus Christ as your personal
No,
savior?
no, it was even after that. I left Africa when I was 15,
Yeah, I know.
and I was very, very damaged. Not from Africa,
Yeah.
but from that school. And I was angry. I was hurt. I had given up on myself. And when I was 17 years old, I went to a camp, and they had a campfire like this. And the speaker said, "Some of you have people who have abused you, people who you need to forgive. And if you do not forgive them, it doesn't cost them anything, but it costs you everything. It's like letting them live in your heart without paying rent. They don't care, but it tears you apart." And so I was sitting in the back row, and I said, "Well, what do you do when the people who hurt you aren't sorry and will never apologize?" And so I thought, well, that's fine when people say they're sorry, but nobody has ever said they're sorry to me, and they never will.
Yeah.
And I heard God say, "Well, do what I did. Forgive them anyway." And so when I was 17, I sat there and I said, "Okay, I choose to forgive you people. I want you out of my life. What you did to me, I do not want it to define me. And I choose to forgive you because I don't want to give you the rest of my life. You ruined my childhood. I will not give you the rest of my life." And I think that's not very profound forgiveness. That's the best I could do when I was 17 and I was angry and hurt. I have learned over time that there are more noble ways to forgive. But it was a very important shift, because once I chose to leave him behind, I looked the other direction, and God was able to bring healing. And probably the greatest healing he gave me was to let me use the pain to keep others from feeling that kind of pain.
Thank you.